19 years since the September 11th attacks on the World Trade Center and on the Pentagon and Flight 93 going down in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Many are living with health-related problems, and there are growing concerns now about COVID-19. They spoke with On Your Side's Ken Amaro. A very complicated situation, as some say the perfect storm.
That's correct, Jeannie. That's how they described it. You know, in nine days, America will pause to remember that tragic September day. And as you stated, many died. About 2,000 or more than 2,000 lost their lives on that day, and more than 20,000 are now living with these health-related problems, many of them here on the First Coast. And talking with a couple of them, they say that this pandemic has indeed placed them in this perfect storm. The image of September 11, 2001 is seared in our minds, and it has left a pain in our hearts.
Well, I still think about it all the time. You know, that was our Pearl Harbor, again, all over again.
Retired FBI agent Donald Campbell was at ground zero.
They told us the air was okay to breathe. And that was coming from the EPA.
Campbell, 74, was part of the evidence response team from Philadelphia.
And we were out there with no mask, no nothing.
Then they found out the air was not safe. He says he worked at ground zero for 6 months.
I have interstitial lung disease, and I also came down with skin cancer.
Today, Campbell is among 20,000 9/11 survivors living with long-term health consequences in a pandemic.
Consequently, I'm sheltering in place a good bit.
About 2,000 9/11 survivors live in Florida, and COVID-19 has elevated their risk.
It attacks the lungs. It's a respiratory illness. So who do you think is the most vulnerable?
Michael Barask law firm represents the 9/11 community.
We're seeing so many of our clients, nearly 100 now, die from COVID-19.
He says 17 have died in Florida.
It's really heartbreaking. 9/11 did not end on 9/11. They're still dying. And this COVID-19 makes you so vulnerable. So please be careful.
Now, Barass told me that the World Trade Center Health Program has a number of clinics everywhere providing support services to 9/11 survivors. In fact, there's some here in the state of Florida, and he would encourage them, if they're not using it, to use them. Mr. Campbell says he is using one of them and following the CDC guidelines and staying on top of his health. He is doing well. Reporting live, Ken Amaro, First Coast News, On Your Side.